Hello, Fraser here, the Midnight Gamer. Thank you for joining me for the second episode of my Commodore 64 specials. And in this one I'm going to do two reviews, and like in the last episode I'm going to include a really annoying and frustrating game right at the end of the two reviews. So my first review is Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, the coin-up from Mirage Studios from 1991. So let's have a look at that. In this Turtles game, based on the Konami arcade version, the player chooses from one of the four hero turtles: Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello or Raphael. And if you are watching this video or you are American or Canadian, yes, I did say hero turtles and not ninja, as here in the UK, ninja was replaced with hero as ninja sounded far too violent for our British kids. So, the mutated turtles were renamed as heroes and were not known as ninjas in the UK. I mean, come on, ridiculous or what? Would the classic The Last Ninja be called The Last Hero? It just would not have been the same playing that game. Anyway, our heroes must rescue their friend April O'Neil and their mentor Splinter, as they've been kidnapped, surprise surprise, by the evil Shredder. In the first level, you have to save April O'Neil from a burning building infested with the foot soldiers. Not only that, but you have to defeat the sidekicks Bebop and Rocksteady, before eventually going on to take out Krang, and finally confronting Shredder at the Technodrome. If you like the Turtles franchise, then this is definitely the game for you. It is an excellent side-scrolling action game and has smooth, colourful animated sprites that will keep you going back for more. In the 1991 Christmas edition of Zap 64, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles: The Coin-Up received a 74% score. Possibly should have scored a bit higher, but I think it was fair for the time. I don't know about you, but I fancy some pizza right now. Where did I put that pizza restaurant menu? Great little game there from 1991. I used to really enjoy playing that. Okay, on to my second review, and this game was from Grandstand Entertainment all the way back to 1986, and this one is Peter Shilton's Handball Maradona. In this unusual football game, you take control of the legendary England goalkeeper, Peter Shilton. The game has three modes: practice session, play a game, and skill upgrading. In the play game mode, you play what I presume is a league game against one of 16 teams that feature in the game. To defeat the opposition, you have to successfully save as many shots as you can, and there is about 3 or 4 shots each half. And if you do concede any goals, you have to hope that your team can score more than the opposition, but unfortunately, the majority of the time they just don't. The problem with the game is that it doesn't matter if you win, lose or draw. There is no points or any rewards up for grabs. If there was only some sort of league or cup mode to play for, this would have been an absolute superb game. But the lack of any competition really does dampen the game, and for me lets the game down. It just feels like there's nothing to play for at all. As far as I'm concerned, I thought the developers were really onto something here, as there was no game like it at the time. To control the goalkeeper was unusual in a football game, and this made it interesting. Maybe it was just me that thought this was a great little game and had potential. There were games that had the same format, but it was all about scoring goals and not saving them. These games were called Football of the Year and its sequel Football of the Year 2. I really could have seen Peter Shilton's Handball Maradona developing into a game, say, called Goalkeeper of the Year. I for one would have bought it. In the skill upgrading mode, well, you upgrade your skill. To achieve this, you need to save 4 shots in a row, and if you're successful, you will go up a level, which means gameplay gets a little bit faster, and it's more difficult to save the shots, and the computer gets a little bit more sneaky with scoring goals. But it does add more to the game, and this is what makes it a good game to play. There is no save game function, so you receive a code for your skill level, so for future games you can enter the code in and continue to play at the same level as you left off. Zap64 only gave this game 38%, which was very, very harsh. I can't understand a score like that, as it wasn't that bad. It definitely needed a league or cup mode, there's no doubt about that. But overall, Peter Shilton's Handball Maradona was still a very enjoyable game indeed. There we go there, Peter Shilton's Handball Maradona. Really did love playing this game. Now, it was unusual because, as I said in the review, there was no football games that portrayed you as a goalkeeper. You were always scoring goals, and the goalkeeper was always controlled by the AI. And it's only been recently in the games like FIFA that the goalkeeper has been introduced, as you can actually control it. But that's why I loved that game, because it was unusual. And around about 1986, it was difficult to find a really good football game, and that was one of the best. But as I said, you were just basically the goalkeeper. But I really did enjoy that. Okay, so now, after those 2 reviews, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a very annoying and frustrating game. I was attempting to review it, but I couldn't get very far in it. Again, like the Platoon episode last time, I was going to review it and it got so difficult that I said I'm just going to put the game through it. So this time, my annoying and irritating game for the Commodore 64 is The Untouchables, and that was from Ocean Software back in 1989. So let's have a look at the gameplay and my attempt to play it. Right, here we go. This is The Untouchables from 1989 by Ocean Software, and this is the first level, the warehouse. Okay, I've just picked up some, I presume that was a time. Oh, bumped in it. Okay, right. Right, now I'm aware that I've got to find evidence, and there we go, the little blue arrow there. I've got to follow that wherever that goes, so I'll go along here. Up we go, and along. Right, and I've got to shoot him to collect evidence from him, and as I said, there we go, there's 10% already. Now, my problem with this game is that, yeah, fair enough, you can pick up time, but to me it looks like you've got to do 10 of these kind of, find the white suited guy, shoot him, and then collect the evidence, and you've got to do that 10 times within this first level, which to me is a little bit boring. As I said, you've got lots and lots of enemies, and they are really irritating. There we go. Now I could go up here. See, another problem with this game is that the white suited gangster always goes on top of the crates, and like what I'm trying to do here, trying to get a good position where I could shoot him, but there isn't, and I know that I'm going to end up touching him, and then that affects my level of like energy, and so I'll try this. As I said, I just bumped into him, and then he's away, and now we've got to go all the way back down. See, that's quite irritating, and as I said, you've got the enemies are really irritating as well, because oh well, I picked up some energy, but at the same time I lost energy. Okay, so there we go, and the white suited gangster is again in the same place. I've got some time there. I need that time, so you get a minute from the time, which again doesn't really excite me, where I've got the evidence. I know how it's working. I get the evidence. At some point when I shoot one of these gangsters, normal gangsters, I'm going to get more time. Fair enough. But yeah, it's not exciting. As I said, I've still got another 9 pieces of evidence to collect, and here we go. Here's one. There's no other enemies about, and there's one just coming into view, so I've got to get rid of them first, because they really irritate you, because they just get So I'd say now I kinda, and again he shot me, and there he shot me as well. They're so irritating, these hoodlums, if you want to call them. Okay, there we go. Now, here we go, right, so I've got to get up on these crates. Now, once I jump up, because that's not going to work, jumping up, see I've shot him, that's good. Now, have I got that? Yeah, there's another piece of evidence. I've still got 4.5 minutes left. I mean, if you were to do another 8 pieces of evidence, it's never going to take you 4.5 minutes. I don't know how long. Obviously, I've seen bits of YouTube footage where people actually do play the later levels, which is fine. For some reason, I can't do this. I don't know why. It's a nice looking game. Again, I've just bumped into one of those gangsters. I mean, it is a nice looking game. It's a shame it's such kind of like a really bad, well, especially this is really bad level. So now, what I've got to do now, I've got to just go up here again. I mean, it's the same thing, isn't it? I mean, this one's quite easy to do. Sometimes what happens is when you shoot the white suited guy and the evidence can be collected by one of those other gangsters, and then once that happens, they run away, which annoys me because one minute they're shooting you and getting on your nerves, then all of a sudden they collect the evidence and they run away from you, and then you've got to chase them, and they're always better, much more faster at getting away from you. So obviously I can see here that I'm not going to get very much further. You know what, I'm probably just going to kill myself. Just jump off here. There we go. Had enough. There we are, I've been put out of misery, so I don't need to play this game anymore. There we go, that was the Untouchables from 1989 from Ocean Software. Again, I couldn't get past the warehouse. I don't know if some of you guys maybe did. Please let me know if you did. Now, that's my episode 2 of the Commodore 64 specials. I'm really enjoying this because I'm really getting into my Commodore 64 collection. I haven't done this for years, and it's just because I started this YouTube channel a couple of weeks ago. I thought to myself, I'm going to do a bit of retro gaming, and I'm going to put a couple of videos up. And I'm really glad I did, because although obviously I'm just starting out, I don't have many subscribers, but it's grown a little bit. So I'm really happy about that, and it makes me feel that maybe some people are enjoying it, even a small handful of people at this moment in time. I'm really enjoying doing this series, and I'm going to do more. So again, if you've got any suggestions, please let me know, and I'll try my best to include them in future episodes. Now, just to add, I do have a Facebook page that I made up on the Midnight Gamer. I'll put the link in below. And as well as that, I've got a Twitter account. Again, I'll put the link in down below. So if you want to follow me, every time I release a video, or I just say some stuff, you know, on Twitter, you'll be able to see it. And again, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's subscribed, and to anybody that's watching this. I really appreciate it. So I'm Fraser, the Midnight Gamer. Until the next episode, thank you for watching. Goodbye.